Okay.
We're live.
No.
I'm not going yet.
You want me to turn this on?
Andy, how do I
No,
do
not
this?
yet.
Okay.
I don't know what I forgot completely. Like the weekend happened and I don't know, dude. You don't know?
The only reason I did was,
Arrested
okay,
people.
so what equals 0 at the first? Forget about this part.
Do I have to go through do in?
No, this is just how I did it. This is just how I did it.
Well, how do you do in?
I don't know. I don't know how to do it.
How do you do this one with in?
Alrighty.
What did you do?
I'm gonna explain.
Fine.
Okay. So my hormone is oxytocin, and the reason it's like I oxytocin you is because oxytocin is commonly referred to as like the cuddle hormone or the love hormone, and yeah, like this is love. Okay. So oxytocin helps in a lot of like reproductive areas of your lifestyle, like with the birthing of a baby, it really assists with that. And it's also in males, but it helps with like testosterone levels and things. So it's created by the hypothalamus and secreted into the bloodstream from the posterior pituitary gland. So here you can see the posterior pituitary. Here's the hypothalamus. Over there. And the target cells are the myometrium of the uterus, which is a smooth muscle. So here you can see the smooth muscle, and it would help it contract. And it assists in sexual arousal, recognition, trust, anxiety, and the mother-infant bonding. So a lot of times when a baby is born, they place the infant on like the mother's chest, which establishes trust and all that. And the disorders associated with it, if you have, so you can have benign prostatic hyperplasia, and that's basically when your prostate is swollen, and so you have trouble urinating if you're a guy. And the breastfeeding prevention is it's when you have trouble creating milk to breastfeed. And it's also associated with autism, but it was very mild association. All right, in non-human organisms, they inject it into cows and pigs. So when their milk bags are too full, it helps them secrete the milk. And in pets, it helps with a lot of reproductive stuff as well. So I'm going to explain this now. I didn't explain it earlier. So when the baby is like pushing on your cervix, it sends a signal to your brain to release the oxytocin, which then helps the muscle contract to help release the baby. And it also, after birth, it helps to clear the uterus of all the debris and repair with that. Thanks. Any questions?
Yeah, right after I had Isabel, they gave me a shot of that.
Yeah.
Do you have to push out the placenta separately?
Yes, you have the baby, then you push the placenta, and then you push everything else.
I kind of
They
don't
have
know
a
what is everything else.
Well, it's like stem cells, right? You get like a giant
There's
thing of
stem cells, there's blood, there's tissue.
Never mind.
there's mucus.
Why
So-
don't kids just?
I thought it was just a baby. That's just
I've heard that the push
Yeah,
out.
they come out all clean and pretty little dough.
I wish.
I've
That'd
heard
be
that
cool.
the placenta is more painful to push out than the actual baby can be sometimes.
Why?
Is it?
Is it spiky?
No, it's squishy, it doesn't have bone.
I know.
So-
For some reason, I heard that pushing out the placenta
Callie's
is
like, I'm
painful.
inappropriate.
It's
like-
because it comes
it's
after
like-
the baby, so it's like more sensitive.
Like baby. And
No baby.
I'll
It's
tell
like
you
it's like
a story about
it's like a string of flubber. It's like
So is the placenta like it's just like a little like is it like a cord like a little jellyfish tentacle thing or is it like a
So
block?
it's like a little sack that encases
Oh, like that's like the little thing that holds the baby? No?
Melatonin.
That's you.
All right.
Are we still live streaming?
Yes.
huh?
What? We're just talking about giving birth. Oh yeah.
Now recorded for prosperity.
I was talking that way. I can't hear me. Do you think you could hear me if I was sitting at my desk?
Yeah. Yay!
Please don't
Alright, literally, why? Don't skip to 3 minutes and 44 seconds.
like that actually is the time.
That is. I got it. Let's put 20 minutes. 20 minutes, 14 seconds.
It could be pretty accurate. We had to restart. So.
No, I set it up for the.
It's like, what?
I mean,
I don't know how Prezi works.
Idiot.
no.
Nice square root.
I got
Uh-oh, we only have 39 minutes.
Oh, no, we're not gonna have enough time.
But down.
So like, out. I don't know.
Well,
You good? Oh yeah, this is melatonin for. Yay! Okay.
Annie?
alright,
Hey, what are you doing?
She's worse than me.
Oh God, what did you
Literally, literally that.
What's going on? Click the back button.
Okay.
Go back. Because Michael skipped like 800 slides.
Oh, we skipped 800 slides.
Okay, melatonin. That's what it looks like. The way, whatever. Next. Okay, so it is released from the pineal gland in the brain, and it goes into like the cerebral spinal fluids, like the juices in here, and it's also in your spine. Oh yeah, okay. So next,
Keep going.
okay, so the effects of melatonin is that it makes you tired, so the more melatonin you have in your body, the more tired you are, and this is basically how you get tired, and this is how you know when to sleep. So for humans, the melatonin release or goes up as the day gets later, and then it goes down in the morning, and for nocturnal animals, it would be the opposite. So problems with when and how much melatonin you make, well, it can give you a seasonal depressive disorder because like during the darker seasons of the month or darker seasons of the year, like your melatonin levels get all hecked up, and then you don't sleep properly and you don't feel things properly because you're always tired. And then insomnia can be caused by improper levels of melatonin at certain times, and so in order to treat insomnia, some people will be given doses of melatonin. And in other animals, melatonin is used as a sedative that has similar effects. So that's it.
Whoa! Alright, you got it. I don't know how to use Prezi for this.
You're off.
Obviously.
Cortisol.
What? No.
Cortisol.
Hey, Michael. Do you still have my
Trying
copy
right
of
now,
Fight Club?
Fight Club.
Can I get that back?
I mean,
Oh, thanks.
Wait, is it a book or a
I
movie?
haven't watched
It's a book.
Oh.
Watch it and give it
I
back.
don't even think I have a DVD player. I mean,
Are you
Do you have a
serious?
computer?
I don't-
Oh, I'll watch
That-
it without my
Whoa.
DVD player. I can
Let's
do
get
this.
ours.
Laptops have DVD players.
Not a Mac.
Because Mac. Why'd you have a Mac?
I've loaned out so many movies, and now I have like 6, and I don't know where the rest of them
I have the
are.
blacklist.
Yeah, see?
What's this job? You? Okay.
Ooh.
What?
That's so weird.
Oh, no.
What movie is that?
Like,
Hot.
you, the one who
Hot.
watched
Hot.
it,
Dude, it's not
Your top falls in a well.
He's like,
Whoa,
Yeah,
shoot.
hey,
Oh, awesome. Because yeah, that's pretty
Looks
good.
pretty decent,
Yeah.
actually.
Hey, how are you?
No, wait, awesome.
I just texted.
Alright, hello. This is cortisol. Okay, so what is cortisol? Is the stress hormone, which means when you're stressed, gets released, and it de-stresses. So what it does, it's also an anti-inflammatory. We'll get to that, and it helps make energy by increasing glucose levels in blood. And it also has many negative effects, which I will also get to. Okay, how's it produced? So, ACTH, adrenocorticotropic hormone, which I did another presentation on. Remember? I drew that. Okay, yeah. So let me go over it again. So, pituitary, and then it's like, ooh, I'm stressed, dog, doing well, and it releases ACTH through the blood, it's like down to your liver, and adrenal glands pop the liver, and it hits those and it binds to them. It's like release cortisol, and so then it releases cortisol into your blood, and then your glucose levels in your blood go up, and you're like, all right, and yeah. Causes of release emotional stress, which is just, or you got a presentation and you got a lot of energy, or your dog dies, but stress comes up over time. And yeah, you can like feel it, you know. It's like if I were to tell you the world's gonna end tomorrow, you feel that just, you know, and then you calm down. That's cortisol. Affects the body, raises blood sugar because your cells need more ATP to make more energy. So then it's like get glucose, and then it just like goes all through your blood, get glucose. And also is an anti-inflammatory, but not so much, kind of really. Can be very, 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 very negative though. Negative effects on the body. Okay, so since it needs a lot of glucose, if you don't have a lot of like glucose just readily available, it'll start taking it from your muscles. And so if you're stressed, it takes away your muscles. It'll also take away from your fat, which seems like a good thing, but then that leads to like low metabolism, and that leads to more fat. So it's really not a good thing. Because frontal lobe activity, frontal lobe is like, it like has stuff like personality, processing, and focus. So there's that. It also breaks down your bones, which can lead to fibromyalgia. Just read at least that one. Addison's disease is when you get too little. Yes. Yes. And it's very bad because you have too much cortisol, and it's just like, woo. Yeah, I did it in my other presentation, but I'll go over it again. So there's normal. Oh wait, Addison's is insufficiency. Coefficient, no. So it's when you have too little, and that's normal, and that's little, and it can lead to a lot of stuff like nausea, like dizziness, just sudden death. Cushing's disease is when you take, if you have Addison's, you have to take this thing called a corticosteroid medicine, which is just like a pill that contains a lot of corticosteroids, like cortisol. And yeah, if you take too much of that, like you're a druggie or something, then it's very bad. And yes, so the only way to get out of it is you slowly de-medicinize yourself. And some symptoms for that are moon face. That's moon face. Personality changes, fat builds up, easily broken bones, you know, the works. Effects in animals. All right, so there's nothing really bad about it because animals normally produce it. But, fun story, when cows are going to slaughterhouses, they're hecka stressed. So, like, if you were going to, like, not going to go there, you get where I'm going with that, like, World War II, yeah. But, but if you're going to, like, a slaughterhouse, you're stressed, and then that gets all up in your meat, and then so when you're killed, you have a lot of cortisol on your meat, and that's very bad if you eat that. And it's just like more cortisol, and it's very bad for you.
They've done a lot of studies with the fact that cows release fat or adrenaline into their meat before they're killed, and then you eat it. And so they've seen a lot of aggressive behavior of people that eat lots of red meat, and that's
Yeah, I
because
noticed that.
during the hormones that they produce.
Yes. Hey, I think that's it. Yeah, that's it.
Alright, the first one is, so would you get fat or would you get skinny?
Both.
Okay.
because you're not always stressed, but once your metabolism rate like it decreases, it's down for good. So you just build up, and
Oh.
it's not that much fat loss. It's more muscle.
All right, 2. So. Darn it. Oh, can like this treats
Insomnia? Or not insomnia.
That's what I thought it was too. So when you like inject it, then would it be able to treat like stress and depression? So can it be injected too?
Yeah, that's why you have to inject it. Is if you have too little. It won't just instantly relieve every stress you ever had. That's why you gotta like do medicine balls and yoga. But it raises your levels back up, so you have like a normal flow into your body.
Forgot the actual question I had with that. Anyway, 3. So like when we put all our cows into the trailer, and when we're going, we don't go to the actual slaughterhouse. We go to like where they auction them off at, but they poop a lot and they make a lot of noises. So can they like detect that they're going there, or does it not? Do they just like think they're moving, and so that makes them nervous?
It's the stress of being taken from your home,
Oh, all right.
and then
That's
crowded
it.
in with lots of other people or other cows.
I have a real question.
Cows
Not a
probably.
good question.
They're gross.
This is like exaggerated, but like somewhere, I don't think it was. I know it wasn't real, but like people were like eating the red meats and then like turning into like killers and stuff, and like. I don't know where I heard it, but like
Here's something that didn't ever happen.
I promise. It was like someone only ate like red meat and then turned into like a zombie or something.
Alright, anyway.
We're just going anyway.
Thanks for listening.
No, but as soon as you said with
Shut up.
people and you know where this is going, I actually keep track of myself.
Kevin, you know what you're saying, right?
Oh yeah.
Alright,
I know where this is going.
I was looking for
Austin, you're like, I'm not gonna elaborate on this, and I was like, it's not what's on. You're like, World War II, and I was like, I knew it.
Alright, Amelia, remember what I said first 2 minutes of the video?
Yay.
That's it. Maybe like 2:20 or something. It's like 2:12 or 2:21. That's 2:01. Also,
I'd like to do that on the
Jasmine, you're probably gonna just sign
Oh, I
on.
have some studies with
Ready for werewolf? 9.
I hate all of you.
Alright,
It's for amazing
I got
presentation.
the first 2 slides.
It's
very
very
title.
cool.
I got the first 2 slides. You got the last one?
Why are they saying
Miss Dexter.
Yes.
There's no back.
Are we doing anything on Thursday? Like,
I'm essentially just reading.
Alright, make
No,
sure,
not messing it up.
make sure it works and stuff. 'Cause it does, so.
We were in house and maybe we'll do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gamma!
No.
Yeah, it is the name of a band, but like.
Swedish band.
Alright, you all set to go?
I thought it was Apple.
Yeah, it's live stream.
Alright, GABA or gamma aminobutyric acid. So GABA is stored in the vesicle until it's released by the presence of an action potential, and its target are either the GABA A or GABA B receptors, and that's the chemical composition of it. Its effect on humans is that it allows negatively charged chlorine atoms into the cell or positively charged potassium ions out of the cell. And it also regulates muscles, and it can slow down the brain in many ways. Here's the video.
Okay.
Shall I step out?
Say you look up the speakers.
Nope. Never mind.
Yay.
Skip the video then, I guess.
Why don't you plug in this?
Just plug in the
Well,
speaker.
Yay! Good job, Michael.
Thought you had.
Oh, Jasmine, you've been sitting out of frame this entire time. There we go. You're about this close.
Every Wednesday afternoon, there's something about chemical dependency. Talk about chemical dependency, so that you can understand, how to keep out of harm's way after you leave here. The recovery program is an educational program, so we have to teach you to be responsible for yourself. You cannot rely on somebody else. You cannot rely on your doctor. You have to understand that you are smarter than your doctor as to your own health and so forth. So we have to cover one drug here, and that's the benzodiazepines, because you will be introduced to these, and you have to know about them to keep out of harm's way, okay? Now, these benzodiazepines will increase GABA. If you were here last week, the week before, GABA slows down the brain. It has many, many stop signs all through the brain. Slows down conduction so that you fall asleep or you're less anxious, right? So this is what these drugs do. There are other GABA drugs, and we'll talk about that some other time. But you don't need these. And what happens, alcohol and these benzos do the same thing, okay? Benzodiazepines, alcohol calms you down. It's a GABA drug. These drugs are GABA drugs. If you take these drugs, you're going to raise GABA, they're going to drop, okay? And if you're an alcoholic, what you're going to do is if your GABA drops, your craving for alcohol will increase because you want to raise your GABA with alcohol. What we're saying is that these drugs will cause relapse on alcohol because they're bouncing your GABA. Bouncing a neurochemical imbalance is what causes cravings. And alcohol is a GABA drug. See? So they cause relapse on alcohol. And alcohol will cause relapse.
Disorders caused by GABA. It can lead to epilepsy and schizophrenia. Epilepsy is like disorders in the brain. It causes seizures. In female rhesus monkeys, increased levels of GABA it can trigger puberty. It's inhibitory. It reduces neuronal functions throughout the nervous system. Don't click it. Don't click it. Oh, God. I was trying to see here's the diagram, but in your mind, you already. Yeah, you're good. Here's the diagram explaining it, then you click.
Just explain it.
No, it's fine. Go.
Oh my God.
It's fine.
That aired, and I could just walk off.
What?
I thought you were done, and I thought you just walked off. I was like, what is he doing? I thought she was still trying to go on a different side. You were just like, oh, nope.
No.
Do you have any more
Yes, bro.
presentations?
I don't think so. I have to do my homework, so I'm not excited.
I'll hold it for you.
Let's do it.
Nice haircut, man.
Done.
That's a good haircut.
And then me. I'm done.
Stop.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Is this your authorization?
Please.
I love Dexter's authorization. There's just a D.
Pass. Is this yours? No.
Probably.
Yeah. I don't know if it's on the same type. 'Cause I got one that was just like, no, it wasn't even that. It was like, wash my finger.
They got a new one. Oh.
That's an animal. Oh! Ours is just a line. Just a line.
I am
Not
lying.
even enough.
They've had that one for a while.
The nurse got mad. She's like, who is
Wait,
this?
go
How am I
back
gonna tell?
onto go back to the one.
I don't know. Make a note. I'm sorry. This is
Put it
just
on
what you
something.
just told my fault. Please don't attack me.
Everybody did them.
There is
No,
no.
My true form.
Yeah, all the way. Sounds good.
no, it won't go to
Okay,
the
everybody,
angel.
we're starting.
How depressing.
Hey, glucagon. Alright, so this is the chemical composition of glucagon, which is a nice picture. So glucagon is released by the pancreas gland. Another one that's also released by the pancreas gland is insulin. More people know insulin more than glucagon. Yeah, so you have your pancreas releases alpha and beta cells. Your alpha cells release they release glucagon, and then your beta cells release insulin and amylin. So yeah, see, it goes to your target cells. So insulin would help you store your glycogen, or select your glucose into glycogen in your liver. But then glucagon does the opposite, which releases the glycogen back in, or turns the glycogen back into glucose, which elevates your blood sugar levels. So it makes you like happier and more energetic. The effects of the in the human body. So it elevates your levels of glucose by taking the glycogen and making it glucose again, allowing it to circulate throughout your body to allow sugar levels to go. Disorders, anaphylaxis, and hypoglycemia. So insulin you usually have to take shots for and things like that. Low levels of glucose also you have to do that as well, which is hypoglycemia. You also have to take shots as well. But some people take the alternative instead of getting shots every day. They just, since it's low levels of sugar, they just eat a chocolate bar or something like that. Or some people carry around granola bars, stuff that's high in fat and high in carbs. Anaphylaxis is when you go into shock because you have like an extreme allergic reaction. So it really takes levels out of control. Effects on non-human organisms. Plants also store glycogen, and it works the exact same way, where it releases the glycogen into the stalk and the stem and stuff like that, and allowing it to carry out its daily functions without having glucose constantly going through the system.
Two of the organs involved are the liver and the pancreas. The liver is reddish-brown in colour and is the largest organ inside the body. The pancreas produces enzymes and hormones. If your blood is rich in glucose, it stimulates the pancreas to release a hormone called insulin. Insulin makes the liver remove the glucose and store it as a carbohydrate called glycogen, reducing the amount of sugar in the blood. Vigorous exercise also affects the level of glucose in your blood. When your muscles are working hard, they're using glucose as a source of energy. The blood sugar level of our magazine reader rises and falls gently. The bike rider's sugar level falls more dramatically. But what if he kept on going? What would happen if too much glucose was removed? When the blood contains too little glucose, the pancreas releases a hormone called glucagon. This makes the liver convert some of its stored glycogen into glucose and increases the blood sugar content, bringing the glucose level back to normal.
So in Mall Cop, when he faints and has to eat the gum off the ground.
Oh my god, I just saw that.
I love it. I like the first one.
Hey, follicle stimulating hormone.
Who's that?
Is that what that is? Like a deficiency of?
Yeah.
Michael, you will finish it for us.
Oh, yeah, I'm the last one?
You're the last one.
I'm not coughing for Michael.
Okay.
Why?
Maybe that thing
No, why not?
You want to smell this?
Yes.
Oh, bro.
Yes.
I don't like using my full name. Like, government already does enough information.
So your last name
Then use jazz hands.
No, that's stupid.
You're stupid.
What is that fun?
You're stupid.
You guys don't even know the theme song. You're horrible. Oh, I don't know. Come on. I know. Great childhood experience.
You're being recorded singing for prosperity purposes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, everybody.
Pokemans.
Follicle stimulating. Okay, so follicle stimulating hormone is released by the anterior pituitary gland, which is the major endocrine gland that is located at the base of the brain. The characteristics of it is that it is a glycoprotein polypeptide hormone, and it regulates development, growth, pubertal maturation, and reproductive processes. And it also helps to stimulate the maturation of germ cells. The target cells of follicle stimulating hormone are the ovarian cells in females and the sperm cells in males, and it promotes the growth and the production of them. On the human body, it can treat infertility, and it is usually used as a hormone to treat infertility because it can promote the growth of and the production of egg cells and sperm cells, and it stimulates the growth of egg cells and sperm cells too. Some disorders associated with follicle-stimulating hormone, if there are too high levels of it during reproductive years, it can lead to premature menopause in females, testicular failure in males, Klinefelter syndrome, which is where a male is born with 2 X chromosomes, lupus, which is where the immune system attacks its own tissues, Turner syndrome, where females are born with only 1 X chromosome, and infertility. And even though it can be used to treat infertility, it can also lead to it.
Short. I'm short.
You didn't turn the light on. Can I just sit there?
Michael, it's so cute.
Yeah. I'm just gonna sit here. Alright. I don't actually want to hold you.
I do.
So.
Can you make sure that, are you holding the thing?
Yeah. I guess Austin's favorite.
Mike, keep going.
Pull it out. Good.
That's fine. I got
Austin,
it.
you might want to hold it out. Alright, so this is a mako shark. And a mako shark is one of the few sharks that are homeothermic, which means that it maintains its body temperature a little bit warmer than the surrounding water using aerobic red muscle, which is kind of just in the middle of its body. And I did 3 different stimuli. The first one is the salt content in the water is increased. The second one is the temperature of the water goes down. And the third one is the water content in the shark is too low. So for all 3 of these, the gills are the sensor that detect the change in the water. And the message from the gills is sent to the brain, which is then sent to 3 different places. So for the first one where the salt content is increased, the kidneys excrete some of the salts, and the rectal glands can excrete some of the salt through its anus. And for the second one where the temperature of the water goes down, the aerobic red muscle, which is right there, heats up the body so it stays a little bit warmer than the water. And when the water content in the shark is too low, the shark can use osmosis to rehydrate itself by getting some of the water from surrounding it.
Yeah.
His name is Bert.
Yeah. William over there.